Johnny G's out of breath. I had to run down to get my cell phone. Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on Top Shelf Oldies. As I'm catching my breath, want to welcome you to the December 19th, 2020 Vinyl Treasure Show. Got to consider this my all Christmas show. Actually, not. It's my Christmas show. I got a lot of cool Christmas 45's out of my collection as I'm catching my breath here. But welcome to the show. I had really a crazy week. I worked till midnight every night this week, and I missed a big record I wanted to bid on. I missed it. I'm not happy about that. But anyway, I'm here to spin original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We opened up tonight with the Jackson Trio on Donald Pierce's Hollywood label out of L.A., California. The song was called Jingle Bell Hop, featured Eugene Jackson on alto and tenor sax, and he gets credit on the label for that cool sound of the season there, November 1955 on Hollywood Records, the Jackson Trio with Jingle Bell Hop. There you go. Let's open up here the vocal portion on Art Sheridan's Chance label. It's the second of 5 for this great group. You all know this group. They're called the Moonglows, written by group member Harvey Fuqua and their manager Alan Freed. Really was the manager, but did he write it? I doubt it. But it's with Red Holloway and his orchestra. It features Bobby Lester on lead. We open up with the sound of the season here. This one from December 1950. The Moonglows on Chance with Hey Santa Claus.
Hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Well, Santa Claus, bring my baby back to me. Hey Santa Claus, bring my baby back to me. Well, I want nothing but my baby on the Christmas tree. My baby back. Hey, 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 Santa Claus, you know I love her so. Back to me. Hey, hey, Santa Claus, you know I love her so. Back to me. When she come back, I'll never, never let her go. Back to me. Santa Claus, you know I love her so. My baby back to me. Hey, hey, Santa Claus, you know I love her so. My baby back to me. Well, if she come back, I'll never, never let her go. My baby back to me. Hey, hey, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus.
There you go with the Moonglows there. Cool Christmas tune there by the Moonglows as I'm trying to set up the next record here. See what happens. This is real radio, folks, as Johnny G catches his breath now. Now I am better. Yes, I am. Those are the Moonglows there, December 1953 on the Chance record label Hey Santa Claus. Hey Santa Claus, the second of 5 on Chance with Bobby Lester on lead. It's their second on red vinyl. That comes on red vinyl. Although if you look at it, it looks like it's got like some black vinyl in. I saw somebody posted, I think, on Facebook that the red vinyl changes color. It gets like darker. And some people, I don't know, how could that be? I don't know if that is true, if that is a true thing that happens, but I can tell you that it does happen on some of my 45s, or it is like that. So maybe there is something in the mixture. Who knows? Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. It's our Christmas edition, although I'll have some sprinkled out throughout the show here. But up next, the group that first recorded as the Sabres on Cal West, they actually do a pretty cool Christmas song called Cool Cool Christmas from September 55. But in 1956, they changed their name to the Chevelles for this release on Larry Mead's Vita record label. It features a 17-year-old Billy Storm on lead. We go back to May 1956 for the Chevelles on the Vita label. It's called Valley of Love.
There is a valley of love.
Tell me why does my valley of love remind me of the sun and heaven above? Why does it remind me of you? Your lips still as warm as the summer skies, and the still as bright as the gleam in your eyes. If they are pretty, baby, then I realize. Oh, well, I know our love is in. There is nothing left for me. Remember all the times we had the things we used to see. If by chance a new romance appears into the thing, I just chalk it on my wall as just another plea. Come on and tell me why. Valley of love, love is tropics there and stars up above. Why in my valley of love? Well, remember the time I want you home, the nights we spent on the telephone, on how we couldn't say goodbye. A hug, a kiss, and then a sigh. Come on and tell me why. Pretty baby, tell me why. Oh, why my valley of love, with the stars up above, in my valley of love. Oh, my valley of love.
That's 17-year-old Billy Storm. Billy Storm on lead. Those are the Chevelles. May 1956 release, came out on the Vita label. Valley of Love is the name of that tune. Billy Storm, he would then become the lead singer of the Valiants, and he went on to have a successful solo career later on in the early 1960s, actually through the early 70s, I think. For Billy Storm there. Johnny G for a Saturday evening here. It's our last 50s show. Is it for the year? Yes, it is, because next Saturday will be the last Saturday of the month. That's my all 60s show. But I might do a show earlier in the week sometime. I get a couple days off, so maybe I'll take a day off and do one. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll know when I go live, but I got to see, because I got to start working after this show again and finish a projection for the tax department. But anyway, here, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue. We count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition. And up next, a solo release by the lead of the Castells. The Castells, that great group out of Philadelphia, and they recorded for Herb Slotkin's Grand record label. His name was George Grant. He was the lead of the Castells, but the label, with this solo release, decided to change his name to George Castell because he figured the record-buying public would know that name better, but and maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but really it's George Grant on lead here, but on the label it says George Castell. And no group is backing him up, but he did write this song. This is from November 1954. It's on the Grand label out of Philadelphia, George Castell. It's called It's Christmas Time.
It's Christmas time all over the world. It's Christmas time and I've lost my girl. Oh well, the bells have rung and you stayed away from me. I need your love to make me feel free. We used to walk together in any kind of weather, no matter where. Neither one of us cared. Oh well, the bells have rung and you stayed away from me. I need your love to make me feel free. Oh baby, please come back to me. You know I can't stand the strain. Come back to me because you played a losing game. Oh well, it's Christmas time all over the world. It's Christmas time and I've lost my girl.
Yeah, that's not one you hear often on the Christmas stations, do you? It's George Grant, a.k.a. George Castell there, and a piano, nothing else. Did you hear anything else in that record? No. November 1954, George Castell, the lead singer of the Castells, but that's a solo effort by him, really. George Grant there on the Grand label. It's Christmas Time is the name of that one. Let's move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Lots of requests to get to tonight, and here's our first. It goes out to Evan Blatt, who was in our YouTube chat room tonight. He requested a great group out of Cincinnati, Ohio, recorded so many cool tunes on Sid Nathan's Deluxe record label. Let's give a listen to their fifth Features Otis Williams on lead. This is going out to Evan from June 1954. These are the Charms on Deluxe. It's called My Baby, Dearest Darling.
My baby, dearest darling, you are the one. My baby, dearest darling, my life's begun
When I hold you in my arms, I'm so close to heaven's child.
My baby, dearest darling, you always know. My baby, dearest darling, I love you so.
For my love deep inside, no, 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 I can't hide. All my dreams of you seem to say you love you, baby, baby, night and day. And when I wake and find it's true, there is no other one but you. Well,
My baby, dearest darling, you'll always know. My baby, dearest darling, I love you so.
for my love deep inside, no, 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 I can't hide. Oh, my dreams of you seem to say you love me, baby, night and day. When I awake and find it's true, there is no other one but you. Well,
My baby, dearest darling, you'll always know. My baby, dearest darling, I love you so.
for my love deep inside, no, 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 I can't hide.
That's the great Otis Williams and the Charms by request for Evan Blatt there. June 1954, Deluxe Records, My Baby Dearest Darling is the name of that tune. That's their fifth release on the Deluxe label. Let's continue here. Now, last week I played a request for George Tompkins. He requested the Starlings on Jerry Blaine's Josie label. The song was called My Plea for Love, and he also requested the flip. This is a double-sided Cool 45 here, and this is actually this flip side here is a cover song that dates back to 1938, first recorded by Gene Austin, and we move up 16 years to April 1954 for this version by the Starlings. Features Larry Gales on lead. We send this one out to George. April 1954, the Starlings on Josie with their rendition of the tune Music Maestro, Please.
Tonight I mustn't think of her. Music Maestro, please. Tonight I must forget how much I need her. So, Mr. Leader, play your lilting melodies. Ragtime, jazz time, swing. Any old thing to help me ease the pain that solitude can bring. She used to like waltzes, so please don't play away.
waiting, and I love her so. Oh, there I go tonight. I mustn't think of her. No more memories. Swing out tonight. I must forget music, Maestro, please.
As good to the last drop there by request for George Tompkins there, the Great Starlings, April 1954 there on the Josie record label. Larry Gale's on lead. Their rendition of the tune Music Maestro Please, and they would later on record as the Twilighters on the MGM record label as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. Now, in last week's show, I featured a group called The Voices, their fourth release on John Dolphin's Cash record label. A cool Christmas song was called Santa Claus Boogie. The B-side is also a Christmas tune. I have to apologize in advance for the flip side. It doesn't play as well as the side I played last week. I don't know what it is. Sometimes with these cash presses, Cash and Money, they play pretty awful. I don't know if it's a recycled vinyl or maybe somebody used a heavy needle or whatever, but they just don't play well. Same thing with some of the moderns. Sometimes you got to be lucky with that. I think it was Reed King that mentioned in the chat room last week that it was lucky that side played well, but this one not as well, but not terrible. I'm letting you know in advance. It's from November 55. These are The Voices on Cash. Last week I played Santa Claus Boogie. This is called Santa Claus Baby.
Santa Claus, Santa Claus, send me, send me, send me. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, send me, send me, send me. Just send my baby, send my baby back to me. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, tell me where do he go? Santa Claus, Santa Claus, tell me where did he go? I miss breakfast underneath the mistletoe. Oh, well, my baby left yes a year ago. Where she went, I do not know. Listen, Santa, got a job for you. If you don't find my baby, I don't know what I do. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, send me, send me, send me. Just send my baby back to me. Well, my baby left yes a year ago. Where she went, I do not know. Listen, Santa, got a job for you. If you don't find my baby, I don't know what to do. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, send me, send me, send me. Send my baby back to me. Send my baby back to me. Since I've been gone, I've been living in misery.
Sounds of the season here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the voices. The voices there, November 1955 release. Came out on the Cash record label. Santa Claus Baby. Didn't play so terribly. A little bit distracting there. But the flip side, so much better. 78 of that plays excellent, by the way. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45s. It's the Christmas show, although I'll be sprinkling some Christmas records throughout the night here. But up next, a request for listener Daniel Kubacki here. We head back to Philadelphia, PA, back to Herb Slotkin's Grand record label, as the lead singer of this group would eventually become a member of Lee Andrews' Hearts. But prior to that, he sang lead for this group known as the Angels. His name is Sonny Gordon. Sonny Gordon. So by request for Daniel, they're doing a nice cover tune here. First recorded, I think, by Frank Sinatra back in 1943. This one's from January 1955, The Angels on Grand. Going out to Daniel, their rendition of the tune, Lovely Way to Spend an Evening.
This is a lovely way to spend an evening and think of any other thing. I'd rather do. This is a lovely way to spend an evening. Can't think of any other one as lovely as you. A casual stroll through a garden,
kiss my lazy love
while catching a breath of moonlight and humming a favorite tune. This is a lovely way to spend an evening. I'm going to save all my nights and spend them with you.
Whoops. As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, January 1955, The Angels. The Angels with Sonny Gordon on lead on the Grand record label, Lovely Way to Spend an Evening. This is probably it's their second release on Grand, the harder one to find on the Grand label. But you collectors out there, be very careful with this. The second presses are out there. Really thin vinyl on this. And I think the dead wax is, I don't know, maybe it's the same. I don't know if it's the same size or not, but there's a lot of dead wax on this 45. I'll show you guys watching on the YouTube chat room, but those are the Angels, January 55. A lovely way to spend an evening on the Grand label for Daniel, and what a lovely way to spend a Saturday evening with your top shelf oldies DJ Johnny G every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. I keep on saying midnight because it's embedded in my mind for a number of years, but we usually go till 1 a.m. and maybe a little overtime. We'll see. Lots of requests to get into. Let's continue here for this next group out of Washington, D.C. This is their debut single. Came out on Bobby Robinson's Red Robin label. It features John Berry on lead. Go to June of 1956, Red Robin Records. These are the Rainbows with Mary Lee. That's on Bobby Robinson's Red Robin record label there. Those are the Rainbows. Rainbows with John Berry on lead, June 1956 release. It's called Mary Lee. Now, this song was reissued a couple of times. Pilgrim Records leased the master in 1956, and in 1960, Bobby Robinson re-released it as a result of the 60s revival of the music on the, I think it was on the Fire label that he re-released it on. And I found my first copy of this in Stormville, New York. They used to have the Stormville flea market, and it used to be usually around a 3-day holiday, and there would be thousands and thousands of dealers that would go up there. Lots of antiques, and lots of T-shirts and belts and junk and whatnot. And way back when in the 70s, it was really fun looking for records up there. And somebody had all these R&B records. They were trashed, totally trashed. He wanted $1 a piece. Not this copy, because this copy cost me a little bit more. Well, actually cost me a lot more than the $1 that I spent. But it was a lot of fun looking for records, at least back then, when you didn't have a lot of money and you only could, kind of pay 25 to $1 for a 45. But anyway, it's a cool tune, Mary Lee. Let's continue here, and we go to have another request here, this time for Daniel Kubacki. This group is originally from Tacoma, Washington, and they were all members of a choir. It was called the Choir at Bethlehem Baptist Church. And they were there while attending Lincoln High School at the time. Then they relocated to Los Angeles, California, signed with Imperial Records for 5 releases. Now, Daniel requested their second. This was co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Billy Gold. Billy Gold on lead here by request for Daniel, June 1955. The Barons on Imperial. It's called My Dream, My Love.
my love. You are my everything. My dream, my love. You are my all. I love you more. Yes, than stars above. You are my heart, my life, my dream, my love. You came to me with your arms open wide, and you promised that you'll always be at my side when life's no more. Yes, and death has come. You'll always be forever be my dream, my love. Oh, oh, oh.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, those are the Barons. The Barons on the Imperial record label, June 1955, a song entitled My Dream, My Love. That now, for you collectors out there, that record comes two ways, at least on the stock copy. There's the promo, of course, the cream color promo, then the red copies next. Then it also came out on the blue. I was going to show it to you, but Johnny G, really busy tonight for some reason. Let's continue here and back to the sounds of the season, this time by the Great Penguins. Their manager Buck Graham wrote this tune, and it would be their fourth of 7 releases for the Mercury label. It features Cleve Duncan on lead. This one from November 1955, The Penguins on Mercury. It's called A Christmas Prayer.
I pray that my love is home for Christmas and brings her presents near that Christmas tree. She's been away since last Christmas Day. I am so lonely and stay this way. I pray that my love is home for Christmas. Oh my, what a Christmas that would be. I pray that my love is home for Christmas.
Is home for Christmas
and
brings
her presents
near that Christmas tree. She's been away since last Christmas Day.
that my love is home for Christmas. Oh my, what a Christmas that would be. That would be.
Those are the Penguins there. Whoops. Look at that here. That needle went all the way. Styrene copy of that, by the way. That needle went all the way over to the label. That's kind of weird. That is odd there. Penguins there, November 1955, release on the Mercury label. A Christmas Prayer is the name of that one. And Johnny G losing his mind here. Cleve Duncan on lead for that one. Now, I normally cannot take requests during the when I'm doing the show live, because usually somebody requests some record that's all the way down in the no humidity basement. But due to the fact that somebody requested a flip side and it's a Christmas song, then I can feature it, that is for sure. And Sheila Pauley, Ed's wife, who was in my YouTube chat room, she requested that I play the flip side of this for her hubby because he likes this side. So by request for Sheila, dedicated to her husband, Ed Pauley, who is a disc jockey, by the way, on Top Shelf Oldies. So we'll send it out to him. We'll send it out to both of them. This is a Christmas tune here. Let me put the needle on the record here. The Penguins here. The Penguins, Curtis Williams is doing lead on this side, though. November 1955, the Penguins on the Mercury label. Another Christmas tune. It's called Jingle Jangle.
Jingle jangle, jingle jangle.
Well, it's Christmas time once again. Everyone's heart is full of cheer. Christmas brings a lot of joy. Christmas here once again. Hear the church bells ring. Watch the tinkling white snow. Hear the people talk and sing. Christmas here once again.
Jingle jangle, jingle jangle.
What makes Christmas so nice? Girls and boys are full of cheer. All it is it's Christmas time. Christmas here once again. Well, it's Christmas time once again. Everyone's heart is full of cheer. Christmas brings a lot of joy. Christmas here once again.
Jingle jangle, jingle jangle, jingle jangle, jingle jangle.
That's going out to Sheila. There, you see that, man? It's gonna ruin my record there. I wonder if because if it's styrene. That's weird. This is a styrene press, by the way. That was odd. That record. I didn't even have. I'm usually right at the bits to stop the record from spinning. You know. Anyway, that's by request. By request. request for Ed and Sheila. Cool tune there by the Penguins. November 1955 on the Mercury record label, their fourth of seven. Curtis Williams on lead for that one. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Last week I played a request for Evan Blatt. He requested the Sonnets on Al Silver's Herald label. The side was called Please Won't You Call Me. Let's give a listen to the flip side here before this one goes back down in the no humidity basement. This side also written by Dickie Goodman. Dickie Goodman, half of the novelty break-in duo Buchanan and Goodman. We go back to May 1956 on Herald, the Sonnets with Why Should We Break Up?
Why should we break up? Why should we part? Let's try and make up. Try to bring the start. Don't go. You know I love you so. Why should we break up, sweetheart? We had a trouble. Let's let it pass. Bygones are bygones. Our love should last. Please say you'll stay. Don't go away. Why should we break up, sweetheart? Don't give my bracelet back to me. I don't want our friends to see. They want to know the reason why you're with another guy. Why should we break up? Let's but be wise. After it's over, we'll realize our fight that night just wasn't right. Why should we break up, sweetheart? Hey! Don't give my bracelet back to me. I don't want our friends to see. They want to know the reason why you're with another guy. Why should we break up? Let's both be wise. After it's over, we'll realize our fight that night just wasn't right. Why should we break up, sweetheart? Why should we break up, sweetheart?
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Sonnets. May 1956 release on the Herald label. Why Should We Break Up? Is the name of that one. Let's continue here. And speaking of Evan, he requested the flip side of that Sonnets record, but he requested this tune by the Five Satins, group out of New Haven, Connecticut. They first recorded as the Scarlets on the Red Robin record label, but then they signed with Marty Kugel's Standard label, and this was their first release. Their first release as the Five Satins. Now, the song was written by the lead singer. You all know him. It's Fred Paris. And some consider this song to be really the first a cappella release, at least on vinyl. This one, 1956, unless, I don't know, does anybody know of any all a cappella releases? Maybe there were, but maybe some can't. Maybe there were earlier, but I don't know. I saw that somewhere, and I was trying to think of something, another song that possibly was all a cappella. But anyway, this is going out to Evan here, January 1956, the Five Satins on the Standard label. The song is called All Mine.
This is the story of a love affair. You're all mine, darling. You're all mine, my love will always be. Eternity.
Those are the Five Satins. The Five Satins, their first release as the Five Satins on Marty Kugel's Standard record label by request for Evan Blatt, January 1956, song entitled All Mine, and all a cappella on that. Interesting tune. Let's continue here. Figured out why that Penguins record slid across. That was a polished 45. That's probably why it slid across there. Anyway, let's continue here. Let's send this next song out to Byron in California and also the doo-wop couple, Ron and Dorothy. They requested this tune. It's the fifth and final release on George Mottola's Empire label for this group out of Los Angeles, California. Features Charles Everidge, I don't know, on lead. October 1956. These are the youngsters on Empire. It's called Christmas in Jail.
Christmas in jail, Christmas in jail. Had a little too much to drink. Ain't got no bail, ain't got no bail. And I'm spending New Year's Eve in the clean. I was in the wrong lane, feeling no pain. Souped my car to 75. Ran right into, you can guess who. And they say I'm lucky to be alive.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
They're singing down the street while everybody's having Christmas turkey. They give me bread and water to eat. Christmas in jail, Christmas in jail. Wore my shoes out pacing the floor. Got rocks in my head, I wish I was dead. Ain't gonna drink and drive no more.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
They're singing down the street while everybody's having Christmas turkey. They give me bread and water to eat. Christmas in jail, Christmas in jail. Wore my shoes out pacing the floor. Got rocks in my head, I wish I was dead. Ain't gonna drink and drive no more. Ain't gonna drink and drive no more.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna drink and drive no more.
Merry Christmas!
That's going out to Byron in California. He's in the Top Shelf Oldies chat. And also going out to the doo-wop couple, Ron and Dorothy. Those are the youngsters. The youngsters, October 1956, release on the Empire label, Christmas in Jail. You don't want to spend Christmas in jail. Now, you collectors out there, this is the the B-side to the first press of Dreamy Eyes by the Youngsters, and the second issue came out about 2 months later. They flipped it with I'm Sorry Now. But hopefully none of you will be spending Christmas in jail. It's going to be really an unusual Christmas, at least for me here in the Galindo household. We're going to have a virtual Zoom meeting. I think my brother has the Zoom. I have the Zoom program with work, but I can't use it for personal stuff, but my brother does. So we're going to be on a Zoom Christmas gathering thing. That's how we're going to do it. Maybe I'll get Barbara to come in on that too. So anyway, hopefully everybody will be safe this Christmas, but it will be a different one than we've ever had before. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. Now, last week I played a request for Matey Campboy. She requested The Hearts, a girl group out of Harlem, New York, and their 4th of 5 on Saul Rabinowitz's Baton record label. It was called Disappointed Bride, with Baby Washington on lead. She's also doing lead on the flip side. Again, this song also written by their manager, Zell Sanders. This one from February 56. These are The Hearts on Baton, Baby Washington on lead. It's called Going Home to Stay.
You should be held responsible for the things that I do. You made me love you. Why pretend you never knew? I'm going home to stay. Oh, oh. I was only a child when you persuaded me to be your bride. You said that you loved me, and I should put away my foolish pride. I'm going home to stay. Oh, oh. You made me cry for many, many years. You made me cry such bitter, bitter tears. Now you took my heart right from the start. Tried so hard to love you, but you tore love apart. I'm going home to stay. Oh, oh. You made me cry for many, many years. You made me cry such bitter, bitter tears. Now you took my heart right from the start. Tried so hard to love you, but you tore love apart. That's why I'm going home to stay. Oh, oh.
Those are The Hearts. Whoops, Johnny G really multitasking tonight. Those are The Hearts there, February 1956 on the Baton label. Going Home to Stay, their 4th of 5 on Baton, with Baby Washington on lead. She was a great singer, wasn't she, as we continue here. Back to the Christmas sounds here. This one on Steve Samuel's High Tone record label. This was put out first in December of 57 on High Tone 111. Then the following year came out on High Tone 117. And first press of this is much harder to find than the second press of this. It's Georgia Harris, and she's backed up by a vocal group. They're called The Lyrics. They also have their own release, ultra rare release on the High Tone record label. I'm going to send this one out to George Tompkins. I know he likes this tune from December 1957. Georgia Harris and The Lyrics on the High Tone label. It's called Let's Exchange Hearts for Christmas.
Christmas bells, how they chime at Christmas time.
Let's exchange hearts for Christmas. We'll be in love all year. I wanna share this good Christmas cheer with you every day, every year, darling. We'll exchange hearts for Christmas. Then there'll be no need to care. As long as I live, to you I will give my Christmas offering each year. You'll have my heart, I'll have yours. We'll play a trick on Santa Claus. The red-nosed reindeer's gonna bring the news. No, I can't win, and you can lose. We'll exchange hearts for Christmas and do the same thing each year. I'll give you mine for Christmas, darling, and you'll give me yours next year. And you'll give me yours next year.
I apologize for the scratches on that record, but it's a hard record to find. The first press of this, much harder than the second press there, but that's Georgia Harris and the Lyrics, December 1957, Let's Exchange Hearts for Christmas. Came out on Steve Samuel's High Tone record label. It says Georgia Harris and the Lyrics, parentheses, vocal group. This is High Tone 111-AX. Now, the flip side on the first press is a cool rockin' tune. It's called It's Time to Rock. And that is with Georgia Harris and the High Tones Quartet, which, of course, is the Lyrics. It's kind of weird that they have the Lyrics on one side and they have... Well, maybe maybe the group isn't on the flip. I'm trying to think if it is, but I'll play that side too. But anyway, that's a great tune. There it is. Johnny G here spinning Christmas 45s. We don't do Christmas 45s every Saturday, but we do it every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue here. And on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the Cameos. The Cameos, a group out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and their contribution to Christmas with their cool tune called Merry Christmas. And since next week is my All 60's show, and it will be after Christmas, and probably after Christmas, and I won't make it to New Year's, right? Because New Year's Eve will be that 31st, so I won't be on until January again. I figured I can play a couple of New Year's Eve songs, which the B-side of that record is, and the tune written here by Oscar Williams. He's the lead singer of the group. Let's go to November of 1957 for the Cameos. On the Cameo label, you flip over Merry Christmas, you get a cool New Year's Eve song. It's called New Year's Eve.
Ba 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 ba. Ding dong. New Year's Eve. I want to hold you tight. Year's Eve, when all the lights are low. New Year's Eve, darling, I want to know. New Year's Eve, will you be my girl, girl?
We made a vow not to forget. We made a vow not to forget.
New Year's Eve, when all the lights are low. New Year's Eve, darling, I want to know. New Year's Eve, will you be my girl, girl? New Year's Eve, when all the lights are low. New Year's Eve, darling, I want to know. New Year's Eve, will you be my girl?
Those are the Cameos there. Cameos with a cool New Year's Eve song there. That's a great two-sided 45. Song entitled New Year's Eve, November 1957 on the Cameo label. They have another record's not that great. It's called Can Can. I saw it in the box. I was going to play the Clippers Bella Bella today, but I was looking for a better copy. I have one in the box. So I saw the other Cameos record there, but it's nowhere near as good as that one. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s. And last week I played a request for Michael in California, and he is doing Johnny G a favor for posting both sides of each record that I play. Thank you, Michael. So you deserve some requests. But last week I played, he requested Larry Darnell, and actually, what did I say here? Actually, a few Larry Darnell singles that I have. Found a couple more today, but I'll be playing them in future weeks. But I played the B-side to Larry's second of three on Sid Nathan's deluxe label. It was called Fing Fang Foy. But let's give a listen to the flip side. We'll send it out to Michael in California. It's from June of 1957. Larry Darnell on deluxe. It's called If You Go.
If you go,
You go,
you'll hurt me so,
so
more than you will ever know. Can't you see what you'll do to me if you go? If you leave, you'll break my heart. Can't go on if we're apart. Can't you see what you'll do to me if you go? If you stay, I'll do my best to bring you joy and happiness. If you stay and see me through, I'll do anything in the world for you. If you go, I'm gonna cry. Can't go on if it's goodbye. Can't you see what you'll do to me if you go? If you stay, I'll do my best to bring you joy and happiness. see me through. I'll do anything in the world for you. If you go, I'm gonna cry. Can't go on if it's goodbye. Can't you see what you'll do to me if you go? Can't you see what you'll do to me if you go?
As going out to Michael in California, Larry Darnell, June 1957 on the deluxe record banner, If You Go. I have another one coming up from him later on in 1959 on the Warwick label. Johnny G spinning original vinyl back to the sounds of the season. This is a rare 45 here, one involving band leader Sax Carey. And this act is out of Detroit, Michigan. How they ended up on Bess Berman's Apollo record label, I'll never know. But Sax Carey and his band are providing the instrumentation with this song here that he wrote. And the group is called Lafettes and Kitty. And there's a vocal group backing them up here. I don't know who they are, but most of the copies of this do not play well. The promos supposedly are supposed to play better than the stock copy. I have a promo copy here, probably recycled vinyl. That's the reason why this record doesn't play so hot. But it's from December of 1957, a great tune, Lafettes and Kitty on Apollo. It's called Christmas Letter. December 1957 release there for Lafettes and Kitty. And a group, that one there on Bess Berman's Apollo record label, Christmas Letter. Isn't it funny that Christmas records you can listen to? They're really no oldie. It's just Christmas music. So that's why you can always listen to this Christmas music at this time of season. So, but they don't play these enough. Imagine if mainstream radio played these songs. They don't probably even know about these songs. It's unfortunate though, but you'll know about them here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here. Now, last week I played a request for Matey Campboy by the Premiers. The song was called My Darling, came out on Johnny Otis's Dig record label. It featured Sammy Yates on lead. Then when Johnny Otis moved over to Capitol, Sammy Yates and the guys also went with him, and they recorded 3 records on as Sammy Hagen and the Viscounts. Now, this was their first of 3 on the Capitol label. I'm going to send this one out to George Tompkins. I know he loves this tune from August 1957. Sammy Hagen and the Viscounts on the Capitol label. It's called Out of Your Heart.
Out of your heart, you gave me your love, like the stars shine from above. My so gentle and carefree. My darling,
the love I have for you
is warm and tender. It's all your own.
This love I have for you,
I must surrender. It's yours, I can't be free. Out of your heart, you have shown me your love. You are all I'm thinking of. My
Send that one out to George Tompkins there. The first time I heard that song was on his show. What a great tune that is. Sammy Hagen and the Viscounts. August 1957 release on the Capitol label. That's their first of 3 for Capitol. Out of Your Heart is the name of that tune. Now, Sammy would also record as Little Sammy on the Shade label and Count Yates on the Regis label. I actually had that one here to play, so that'll be coming up in future weeks. And also as Little Sammy Yates on the Genie label. I have that 45 also. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45s as we continue here. Back out to Hollywood, California, we go to Jim Hawthorne's MMI record label, which was distributed exclusively by Dot Records, is what they have on the label here. But it's the debut single for the Alpacas here. Alpacas is the name of the group. The song is written by Ray Stanley and the lead singer. His name is Willie Walker. We go back to August 1958. We move into 1958 with the Alpacas on the MMI record label. It's called Time Marches On.
Time marches on.
Every day. Yes, I'm still alone. Oh, I'm living in
someone, she was bad as she could be. I never should have let her go. Now I see. Thank much is all every day. Thank much is all. Thank much is all. Yes, I'm still alone. Such the world over. What did I find? I didn't even get no peace of mind. Thank much is all every day. Thank much is all. Thank yes, I'm still alone. I'd start all over. Oh, do anything. Girl, I love is when a wedding ring. Thank much is all every day. Thank much is all. Thank much is all. Yes, I'm still alone. Thank much is all every day. Thank much is all. Thank much is all every day.
That's from August 1958 there, the Alpacas. Alpacas with Willie Walker. Willie Walker on lead on the MMI record label. It's called Time Marches On. Yes, it does. Can't believe we're going to be going into 2021. Ugh, wow. And also this group, they would have one more release in 1959 on the Freedom label. I have that record, and I got to pull it out, see how that one sounds. Let's continue here. We are in the year 1958, and with this next release, I'm actually filling requests for two listeners. Listener Joe Shacatano and Evan Blatt in our YouTube chat room. It's very rare that I get two listeners sending me the requests, although maybe it's happened before. I have to say that it has happened before. But they both requested this tune by a group from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Came out on the... can't read my writing here. It came out on Al Sierra's KC record label. The group is called The Exclusives. I really can't tell you much about the group. The music is by The Arcs. They're providing the instrumentation here. It's from July of 1958, so this is going out to Joe and Evan, The Exclusives on KNC. It's called It's Over.
Although I know you can be true.
by request for Joe Shacatano and Evan Blatt. They're the Exclusives. That's the name of the group, July 1958 on the KNC record label. The song is called It's Over. It's not over till at least 1 a.m., at least for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, don't know much about this group, but I will tell you that the originals of this 45 must have the RCA stampers in the dead wax. That means it needs to be stamped, like those lot of the RCA presses. They're stamped in the dead wax. Now, my understanding is that the blue copies of this are bootlegs, so be careful, you collectors out there, if you're looking for this 45. Let's continue here. Now, last week I played a Christmas tune for George Tompkins by this Washington, D.C. group. They were called the Cool Breezers, was their second of two on the Bale label. It was called Let Christmas Ring. Featured Joe Ruth on lead. It was listener Reed King in Oregon. He's in our YouTube chat room. He requested the flip side of this, which features Enoch Williams on lead, and it's a cool New Year's Eve tune, so we're going to send this one out to Reed from December 1958. The Cool Breezers on the Bale label. It's called Hello, Mr. New Year.
Hello, Mr. New Year, hello. Oh yes, we welcome you here. We'll wipe our tears of yesterday, for New Year has come our way. It's true, Mr. New Year, it's true. The love we seek through you will fill our imagination and give us inspiration. This is the reason why we make resolutions, and this is the season to give more contributions. Hello, Mr. New Year, hello. Oh yes, we welcome you here. We'll wipe our tears of yesterday, for a new year has come our way. This is the reason why we make resolutions, and this is the season to give more contributions. Hello, Mr. New Year, hello. Oh yes, we welcome you here. We'll wipe our tears on yesterday, for a new year has come our way.
Well, they'll be playing that one there in Times Square, empty Times Square this year. That's going to look kind of odd. Usually thousands and thousands of people come to New York City to spend New Year's in Times Square, but that's not going to be happening this year. It's going to be odd to watch that ball drop with nobody there in Times Square. Anyway, those are the Cool Breezers there, December 1958 on the Bale label, the second of two for Bale. Hello, Mr. New Year will be coming up soon. Let's continue here, and here is another request for young Evan. This appears to be the group's only release on Julie Rifkin's Dome label, and I know that disc jockey Tommy Smalls, a.k.a. Dr. Jive, he was a silent part owner of this label. It was called Dome Records, along with Sammy Lowe, who was the band leader on this, and it's a kiddie lead. His name is Frankie LaRussa, or Russa. Yeah, Frankie LaRussa is his name. Written by group member Joe Renato. This is going out to Evan, April 1958. Another rare 45 by a group called the Kents. It's on Dome Records. It's called I Love You So.
I love you so. Oh, please say you love me too. Oh, how I am yearning, dear.
Those are the Kents, the kitty lead there, the Kents with a kitty lead singer, Frankie LaRussa is his name. April 1958 release going out to Evan, came out on the Dome record label. I Love You So is the name of the tune. I think I saw an interview with the writer of that tune, Joe Renato. He said that he claimed that the payola scandal hit the majority of the New York disc jockeys that were spinning records in New York City, and his song was doomed. So I don't know if he was saying that they paid the disc jockeys to play his record or not, but that was kind of an odd comment by the writer of this song and a member of that group, because Alan Freed I think he mainly got caught when he went to WABC. He was playing records on the ABC Paramount record label and the Apt label, and I think I remember reading about the song by Vince Castro, Bong Bong. That was one of the payola records that he was playing, or they were playing on that station, because all the disc jockeys got caught doing it. Anyway, Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. Up next, a misplaced request for listener Joe Shacatano, because I messed this up. He sent me, Joe sends me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com, and this was on his list for last week, and I totally missed it, and I had the record, but we're going to play it tonight for him. This group is called the Chateaus, and they're out of Newport News, Virginia. Joe requested their first of 3 on the Warner Brothers label. It features Edwin Hall on lead, and this is with Larry Kirkland and the orchestra. It's going out to Joe Shacatano, November 1958. These are the Chateaus on Warner Brothers. It's called Brown Eyes.
Someday, sometime, somewhere along the way, I'll love you so, dear brown eyes. You made me weep, you made me sigh, when you said goodbye, never die. But I'll love you still, dear brown eyes. Well, but our imaginations, I set up a heaven-bound prayer that the Lord would guide and keep you, just to let you know and care how much I love you and always will. But I'll love you so, dear brown but I'll love you, dear brown
As by request for Joe Shacatano, cool tune there by the Chateaus, November 1958, features Edwin Hall on lead. Came out on the Warner Brothers record label. Brown Eyes is the name of the tune. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. Now, last week I featured the B-side of this 45 to Lee May, his second of 2 on John Dolphin's Cash record label. The song was called All I Want is Someone to Love? And it was listeners Darrell Letts and Reed King asked if I could play the intended A-side of this 45. So here you go, going out to Darrell and Reed from 1958. It's Lee May, a.k.a. Arthur Lee May, being backed up by the Crowns. They are uncredited on this 45, though, and it's on Cash Records. It's called Pounding.
Mountains may crumble, oceans may overflow. Still there's a rumble that you don't know. But that's my heart. I said, oh, that's my heart. Going pounding, pounding since we've been apart. Sometimes I might stumble somewhere down the line. Yeah, there's a rumble, and it's right on time. But that's my heart. I said, oh, that's my heart. Going pounding, pounding, going pounding, pounding, since we've been apart. Whoa, there's a pounding in my heart since we've been apart. There's a pounding in my heart that's tearing me apart. There's a pounding in my heart that's going to and fro. This pounding wanna let me go. I might stumble somewhere down the line. Still there's a rumble in this heart of mine. But that's my heart. I said, oh, that's my heart. Going pounding, pounding, going pounding, pounding, since we've been
Actually, it has like a Motown feel to it. It really does, for Lee May. Lee May there, 1958, the second of two on the Cash record label. A song entitled Pounding, and Lee was playing baseball with the Milwaukee Braves. At the same time, he was recording with his group called the Crowns, who were backing him up on that. Another singer that comes to mind with a sport career and also a singing career is Rosie Greer. Rosie Greer, both playing football with the LA Rams and also recording, a number of recordings that Rosie Greer does. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. It's the Christmas show, although I'm not playing all Christmas records, but I am playing selected Christmas tunes out of my collection. But we continue here. Let's get this next request in for Nat Papagallo, listening in Naples, Florida. We head out to Los Angeles, California for the first of two for this group on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin label. They're called the Spotlighters. This one from August 1958. Aladdin Records, the Spotlighters. Going out to Nat. It's called Whisper.
Whisper, 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 my darling, soft and sweet. Tell me that your love is mine to keep. This I won't know unless you whisper to me. Whisper to me. Say that you love me. Say we're not through. I promise you, darling, that I will be true. This is my answer. If you
That's going out to Nat Papagallo there. That group, they're called the Spotlighters. Spotlighters there, August 1958 on Aladdin Records. Whisper is the name of that one. We move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Must be your lucky day, Evan, because here is another one of your requests here. We head back to the state of Ohio. This is on the MNC record label, as this is a deluxe custom pressing. Deluxe Records, you can contract with them. They'll print out as many records as you like. At least back then they did. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was 100, or I don't think it was 500. I think it was in hundreds that you could request, and then you would pay them and they'd press them up for you. But the next 345s will be single artists with groups, by the way. Now, this singer goes by the name of Joe Caldwell, and he wrote this song, and there is an uncredited vocal group backing him up on this. This one from August 59. Joe Caldwell on the MC label. It's called Guess I'm the Lonely One.
I walked out and left you. I was the one. While we were together, we had so much fun. Please forgive me. Guess I'm the lonely one. Parties and dances don't seem the same. We're not together. I am to blame. Please forgive me. Guess I'm the lonely one. Well, if you will come back and say we can start anew. Girl, if you will come back, I won't be lonely and blue. When parties and dances, we won't miss one. We'll be together, we'll have so much fun. I miss you, darling. Guess I'm the lonely one. Yes, if you will come back, girl, and say we can start anew. Yes, if you will come back, I won't be lonely and blue. Then parties and dances, we won't miss one. We'll be together, we'll have so much fun. I miss you, darling. Guess I'm the lonely one.
I wonder who that group is backing him up there. Joe Caldwell, by request for Evan Blatt there, August 59 release, Guess I'm the Lonely One. It's on the MC label, and this artist, he has other releases, one on Esta and another one on the BIM label. We continue here, and earlier in the show, I played a request for Michael in California. He requested a bunch of Larry Darnell 45s, but I played one on Deluxe earlier. Here's another request for Michael, and this one's on the Warwick label, and this is a cover tune originally done back in 1928 by the Piccadilly Players. They were called on the Columbia label, but this one here is from June of 1959, going out to Michael in California, Larry Darnell on Warwick with scratches on this 45. It's called If I Had You.
could show the world how to smile. I could be glad all of the while. I could change the gray skies to blue if I had you. Oh, I could leave the old days behind, leave all my past, I'd never mind. I could start my life all anew if I had you. I could climb the snow-capped mountains, sail the mighty ocean wide. I could cross the burning desert if I had you by my side. I could be a king, dear, uncrowned, humble or poor, rich or renowned. There is nothing I couldn't do if I had you.
It's a pretty good investment for me. 10 cents on that 45 at the 303 Drive-In in Orangeburg, New York. Used to go to that flea market when I was in high school. I just got my permit, used to drive across the Hudson River over to Rockland County. My aunt would come with me sometimes. I'd get there really early, and I had to beat out a couple of other scavengers there looking for 45s, and I'd find stuff like that for 10 cents. I said, this looks interesting. Let me buy this Larry Darnell. It's going out to Mike in California, June 1959 on the Warwick label. If I Had You is the name of the tune as we continue here. Here's our third single artist with group here. Now, a few weeks ago, I played a request for Nicky V by this artist. He goes by the name of Tiny Tim. Not the Tiny Tim that did Tiptoe Through the Tulips. This is a different Tiny Tim. Came out on Sid Nathan's Deluxe label. Featured the intended B-side for Nicky. It was called By My Side. But let's give a listen to the intended A-side before I file this one down on the No Humidity Basement from March 1959. Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim on Deluxe. It's called Face to Face.
Didn't we meet somewhere before? Was it your smile or the clothes you wore? I can't remember the time or the place. I know we met somewhere face to face. Haven't we danced? Were we too bold? Didn't you laugh at the jokes I told? I can't remember the time or the place. I know we met somewhere face to face. The music was playing a beautiful song. Seems we danced the whole night through. You took my hand as the evening wore, and I fell in love with you. Haven't we known a moment's bliss? Didn't we share a good night kiss? I can't remember the time or the place. I know Haven't we known a moment's bliss? Didn't we share a good night kiss? I can't remember the time or the place. I know we met somewhere face to face. Whoa, face to face. Whoa, face to face. Whoa, face to face. Whoa, face to face.
That completes our third single artist with a group backing him up. That's a cool tune, Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim, March 1959 release on Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records. Face to Face is the name of the tune. As we continue here, we are in the year 1959, and last week I featured the Clickettes on the Dice label. Request for listener Cheryl Morgan, the song called Grateful. That was the intended B-side of the 45. It was listener Daryl Letts that requested the A-side. It features Barbara English on lead. I'm going to send this one out to John Clemente. He also loves the Clickettes. Actually, we're going to talk about it after the song, because John wrote about this group in his book. We'll talk about that after the record. Go back to June of 1959. We'll send this one out to Daryl and John. The Clickettes on Dice. It's called Lover's Prayer. Those are the great Clickettes there, the Clickettes on the Dice record label. What a cool tune that is. Lover's Prayer, June 1959, Barbara English on lead. That was the group's fifth release on the Dice record label. You collectors out there, the true first presses of this should not say distributed by Memo Records on it. So it was really tough to find that 45 that way. I had it for many years with distributed by Memo, because that is a more common way to have the record, but I was lucky to find that copy. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. We're playing a lot of Christmas tunes. Here's A Sound of the Season. I used to actually hear this record on WCBS FM back in the late 1980s, and it's not from the 50s, and not from the early 60s, but it's from 1987, November of 1987, and the lead singer on this tune is actually a personal friend of mine, and he is currently in our YouTube chat room. And he is also a record collector, a girl group collector. That's why he loved that tune that I just played there on the Dice record label. And he wrote about that group and other groups, girl groups, in his book, Girl Groups, Fabulous Females That Rocked the World. Actually had two books. He redid the book again. He added notes and he added more entries into the book. I will show it to you in the YouTube chat. It makes a good Christmas gift. We're going to talk about another book after this too, by the way. But he is doing lead on this group, doing lead with this group here. And when this record came out, I have multiple copies of this record. I have the picture sleeve, and I think I also have, John, there was a green vinyl copy, a white label with green vinyl. I know I have that copy also, but it's on Eddie Bryan's Bab record label. The Echelons here. That's the name of the group, and the lead singer of the group is John Clemente, a good friend of mine. He's on our YouTube chat. So this is a cool Christmas record, November 1987, but it sounds like the 1950s. The Echelons here on the Bab label. It's called A Christmas Long Ago, Jingle Jangle.
Jingle, 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 jingle. Jingle, 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 jingle. Jingle, 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 jingle.
I remember a Christmas long ago.
Jingle, 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 jingle.
I remember a hanging mistletoe. I remember love, lights of red and blue.
How I remember you.
I remember a Christmas long ago. Christmas Eve taking sleigh rides out in the snow. Later on that night, about 2:45,
seems that I asked you to marry me.
Every time it's Christmas Eve, something happens inside. Seems that the love we had has never remember love, lights of red and blue.
How I remember you.
I remember Christmas long ago. I never forget that Christmas.
Those are the Echelons there. Echelons on the Bab record label, November 1987 release. 87 release on the Bab record label with John Clemente on lead. My friend, he's in our chat room, a listener to the Vinyl Treasure Show. A Christmas Long Ago, parentheses, Jingle Jingle. Now, John says 3 years later they reissued the record on green vinyl. It was actually it would show up in, was it top 20, John? I forget when CBS FM used to count down the top Christmas records. I know it was in there. They played it quite a bit when I used to, drive around in the car and listen to it. It's a great tune, Johnny, really. And plus they did others. I have record sleeves that John, he gave me his signature. I went to the autograph table with John Clemente and wrote on the record sleeves of other releases by the group The Echelons there. And I know John for a long time. We go back a long time with a lot of record get-togethers we had through the years. We have mutual record collectors friends also. But that is a great tune, I'd say. And you got to buy the book. The book, it would make a great Christmas gift. The book is called Girl Groups, Fabulous Females That Rock the World. John Clemente is the author, and sometimes he has them up on eBay. You can buy them there. They might still be available on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can, but it would make a great Christmas gift. And another book that I'm waiting to get in the mail, I haven't gotten it yet. I ordered it, I think it was on Sunday that I ordered the book. It's by Marvin Pott. He put together a book. It's called R&B and Vocal Group Recordings on 45 RPM, 1945 to 1965, an information and price guide. And there are 2 volumes of that, and he sent me an email. I ordered it. I haven't gotten it yet, but he said there's a lot of information about the groups in there, and what the pristine copies have recently sold for. And with price guides, they only last for as long as whatever the supply and demand is, so they're really only a gauge. But sometimes these price guides are good to keep track of what records you might own. There's photographs and information about the group, so this is a little bit more than just a price guide. But I didn't get mine in the mail yet. But there are 2 volumes, and it's available on Amazon. If you type in his name, Marvin Pott, he's the author, and the 2 volumes there. There's over 1,200 pages within the 2 volumes, lots of information, record titles, and I'm sure collectors that listen to my show would be interested in that. So you can check it out. You can check it out on Amazon, and I'm supposed to get mine before Christmas. We'll see. With the mail, it hasn't been too great, but you got to check out those 2 books. That's my recommendation. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue now, and we have another request this time for Joe Shacatano. This group is from Harrison, New Jersey. They started recording back in 1958 for the Cool record label. They were called the Ideals. Then in 1959, they signed to the Andy label, Andy Records, and this is the release and this is the record that Joe requested. It features Richard Kelly on lead. We go back to January 1960. These are the Ovations on Andy. It's called My Lullaby.
Lullaby and good night. Close your eyes and sleep tight. You're an angel from above, and you're my own true love. So close your starry eyes while I sing my lullaby. When I said goodbye, I saw a tear in your eye. I rushed right to your side and cried lullaby. Hush, don't cry. You're my angel till I die. Lullaby. When I said goodbye, I saw a tear in your eye. I rushed right to your side and cried lullaby.
That's by request for Joe Shacatano there. Those are the Ovations from January 1960 on the Andy label. It's called My Lullaby. Richard Kelly, he's the lead singer on that. Now, Andy Records would later on change to Rust Records. If you're running the label, you got to have Andy, then you have to have Rust. Now, Hi Weiss would purchase the master of this song in 1961 and release it on the Barry label. So you can get this record on Barry Records also, and this group also has others on Epic and Capitol, and yes, not to be confused with the Ovations that recorded for the Gold. Oh, what is the label? Michael, did you type that in there? Not to be confused, I saw that with the Gold. What is that label? Johnny G losing his mind as we continue here on Vinyl Treasures. And last week I featured a Christmas song by the Gold Wax. That's it, Gold Wax. I'm going nuts today, I am. Must have been the shoveling I did. Anyway, last week I featured a Christmas song by the Shantons, that group out of Jersey City, New Jersey, their third release on the J-Mar label. It was called Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Let's flip it over. Another cool Christmas cover tune on the flip. This originally done by Nat King Cole, the Nat King Cole classic tune. But this is a nice rendition too by Skip Jackson. He's on lead, and the Shantons, November 1960. Their rendition of the Christmas song.
Merry Christmas.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your toe, Yuletide carols sung by the fire, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. No, some turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase for kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you.
Sounds of the season here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Shantons. November 1960 came out on the J-Mar record label. Their rendition of the Christmas song with Skip Jackson on lead. Johnny G spinning original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. here on Top Shelf Oldies. Next week will be my all 1960s show. I'll be back in 2 weeks for more 1950s and early 60s sounds. Send me your requests at Vinyl Treasures at AOL.com. We continue here for a request for listener Cheryl Morgan. She requested the B-side to this gal's biggest hit from 1961. I'm sure many of you know the song Gee Whiz, Look at His Eyes, yes, by Carla Thomas. She was the daughter of R&B singer Rufus Thomas. This song first came out, though, on the Satellite label, which I don't have, in October of 1960. Then it was nationally distributed by Atlantic Records 1 month later, and Cheryl, she requested the B-side of this hit. We go back to November of 1960 for Miss Carla Thomas. Carla Thomas, I'm playing it on Atlantic Records. The song is called For You. B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there by request for Cheryl Morgan, November 1960 release. Carla Thomas, B-side to Gee Whiz, song entitled For You. Originally came out on the Satellite label. If you have that one, that's not an easy one to find. Came out locally in Memphis, Tennessee, but then Atlantic picked it up there. That's going out to Cheryl. Let's continue here. Up next, a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, as we stay in 1960 here for this group this group is called the Tuxedos, who are really the Hollywood Saxons as we go to George Mottola's Forte label. This tune written by group members Charles Taggart and the lead singer. His name is Stan Beverly. Now, Marv Goldberg says that this song is the answer to the Saxons on the Contender label, a song called Is It True? So Matey requested a tune called Yes, It's True. This one's September 1960, the Tuxedos on Forte. It's called Yes, It's True.
There's one thing for sure. You don't believe me. You keep asking me, is it really true?
It's true.
I love you.
And you alone I want to be, my darling. King of the throne, I will show.
one thing for sure, you don't believe me. You keep asking me, is it really true?
By request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, in our YouTube chat room now, the Tuxedos, Stan Beverly and the Tuxedos, their September 1960 release on the Forte label, featured it on the gold color Forte label. The yellow is the second press. Actually, this gold one comes out two ways. It comes out with small print, which I think is the true first, and mine is on the larger print, which I won in a John Tefteller auction about 30 or so years ago. But that is a cool tune going out to Matey Campboy as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And Evan, this is your last request for tonight. Actually, this was an old request. I was fitting them in here with the tempos. That's how I do the show. I try to kind of tempo the show out to have for a nice free flow show here. But we go back out to California for this group called the Universals, and I'm not sure if they're the same group that recorded on the Shepherd label, but they could be. They could be. Although I should have checked the Steve Propst's book on this one. I did not have a chance to do it, but this is on the Kerwood label. Kerwood Records. We move into 61. March 61 for Evan, the Universals. It's called Never Was a Girl.
Well, there never was a girl like you. There never was a love so true. But I just want to tell the world about you. Darling, I want you to know that I can't live without you. For there never was a girl like you. I thought I'd been in love before with many girls I did adore, but you, my love, are the world's greatest charm. Darling, I just want to be your knight in shining armor, for there never was a girl like you. The first time that I held you, I knew you were the one. The first time that I kissed you, I saw the midnight sun. Oh, there never was a girl like you. I thought I'd been in love before with many girls I did adore, but you, my love, are the world's greatest charmer. Darling, I just want to be your knight in shining armor, for there never was a girl like you. No, 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 there never was a girl like you. Yeah, 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 was a girl like you. There never was a girl.
Those are the Universals. I think that this Universals group is out of California, so they very well might be the same group that recorded for the Shepherd label, which I do have that 45, by the way. March 1961, the Universals on Kerwood with Never Was a Girl. We continue here. Here's a request from Matey Campboy. They're all bunched together this week because they're all from the early 1960s. And earlier we heard from the Five Satins, Fred Paris and the Five Satins. They return this time, or at least Fred Paris returns as the lead of this group called the New Yorkers. The New Yorkers Yorkers here, as they had 2 releases on Slim Rose's Wall record label. Slim Rose owned this record label, Wall Records. This is from September 61, by request from Matey Campboy, the New Yorkers, with Fred Paris on lead. The tune is called Tears in My Eyes.
There are tears in my eyes, 'cause I know you will never be mine, and I'm hoping someday you will find another love just made for you. There's a pain in my heart, for I know we must say goodbye, but I can't let you see me cry, so I must go. Remember, I won't forget all those memories that I have of you. But darling, I know you'll forget all about me when you find someone new. I guess that's how it is when you're head over heels in love. All the things that I had plenty of, you will always be so far apart. Though I know you will never belong to me.
As by request from Matey Campboy there, September 61 release. The second of 2 for the New Yorkers on the Wall record label. It was called Tears in My Eyes. Now, this actually was a trio. So a trio of Fred Paris, Wes Forbes, and Richie Freeman. Yeah, Richie Freeman. So it was a trio on that record, but a cool tune there. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we go to a cool Christmas sound here, sound of the season. This is a Jamaican song. I think the record, though, came out in New York. There's 2 labels, actually, this record came out. First came out in December of 61 on the Duncan label. Then in 1968, I think, 67 or 68, it was reissued on the M&L label. But this artist goes by the name of Sir Jablonski. But he really is Vincent Hill, Sir Jablonski, a.k.a. Vincent Hill, and he wrote this tune, and there's a group backing him up, and there's a Capitol press on that, but I think this is the first press. This is the first way it comes on the Duncan label. This is, I think, out of New York, this press. It has an A1. It looks like it was probably pressed by either Brent or or Shad Records, whatever that pressing plant was that pressed those records. But this is from December 61, Sir Jablonski on Duncan. It's called Merry Christmas Day.
To you
my darling, but Christmas Day I'll be wishing Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you. Oh, darling, at night I pray that we will meet someday, and you are my only one, and you are one in a million. Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you. Well, Christmas Day, Silent Night will be playing, and the tears from your eyes will be falling. Your children and your friends, they will be wishing you. Baby, I hope that their wishes come true. A Merry Christmas, dear, and a Happy New Year. May your days be brighter and you be happy forever. Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you. Oh, baby, baby, you know, yes, you know, I really love you and I really miss you. This is all I could offer you for now. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas.
Sounds of the season here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. Sir Jablonski, a.k.a. Vincent Hill there, December 1961 on the Ducan. I said Duncan. Johnny G, my eyes were killing me. I had to put Visine in my eyes earlier in the day today. Must be the cold weather, but that's a cool tune. Song he wrote, Merry Christmas Day. Reed mentions that the 67 version is a different cut. I do have that 67 version too. Should compare those two. I should. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45's. Here is another request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. We head back to L.A., California. Earlier we heard from this group as the Tuxedos. They return as the Hollywood Saxons this time. Stan Beverly and the group. And Stan Beverly, he became interested in producing his own masters, so he purchased several tracks cut by George Mottola's session musicians, who were pianist Ernie Freeman, saxman Plas Johnson, and guitarist Renee Hall, and Stan used some of these tracks in creating subsequent releases under the name Hollywood Saxons, including this tune, which was requested by Matey Campboy. And this one here, I'm featuring the True First Press, by the way, which is on the Swinging record label. April 1961, the Hollywood Saxons, going out to Matey with Stan Beverly on lead. It's called Every Day's a Holiday.
Love you, love you, love you, love you, honest. I do love you. Ooh, my darling.
Every day's a holiday when I'm with you. Everything is always alright when I hold you tight, 'cause every day is a holiday when I'm with you. Whoa, whoa. tremble inside. The feeling is so real. It makes me wanna cry, 'cause every day is a holiday
when I'm with you.
Valentine's Day comes once a year. Oh, it brings happiness, it brings cheer. But all those things I have in my own little world is because I've got you. For my little girl, everything you do is all right with me. My love is true and will always be. Oh, every day is a holiday when I'm with you.
As by request from Eddie Campoy there, the Hollywood Saxons, Stan Beverly, and the Hollywood Saxons April 61 release on the Swingin' label, Every Day's a Holiday. And there's supposedly some people say, Marv Goldberg says the Swinging label is the first press. There's another ultra rare version of this, or record release of this, on the Hareco, Hareco label. I also have it on 20th Fox, and I also have it on the Elf label. Now, the interesting thing is that Stan Beverly gets production credit on, I think, the Elf release, which is later in 62, and also the 20th Fox release, but not on the Swingin' label. And the Swingin' label comes without that metal. There's that gold metal stamper, the Circa. I think it's called that. I think that's what that little blue ribbon kind of thing's pressed on the label there. But comes many ways. But either way you look at it, it's a great tune, and that's going out to Matey Campoy. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for listener Nat Papagallo. He requested Elroy and the Excitements, a great group out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Great two-sided 45, by the way, that came out on the Alana label. And the side I played last week was called My Love Will Never Die. We're going to flip it over here and give a listen to the flip side here. It's from April 61. The lead singer on this is Leroy Grammer. Leroy Grammer, he's recording as Elroy and the Excitements on Alana Records. The song is called No One Knows.
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 Just how much I love you. If they knew, if they knew, they wouldn't do the things they do. They try to say,
They try to say,
they try to say,
they try to say
that we're not in love. They just don't know. They just don't know. And it isn't so. Now time after time I try to tell them, but it seems as though
they just don't understand.
no one knows,
No one knows.
no one knows
No one knows.
just how much I
great two-sided 45 there by Elroy and the Excitements. April 61 on the Atlanta record label out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No One Knows is the name of the tune. The flip side there, My Love Will Never Die. Now in 62, this group will record again on the Romac label as the Enchantments. They do a great tune called Lonely Heart. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. We got some more requests to go as for this next record that goes out to Mady Campboy. She requested this tune. This group last week, I played their third release on the Dunes label. It was called I'm Sorry, and Mady requested their first release on the Dunes label, although this record first came out on the Sabra label, first on Sabra, then it was picked up by Dunes Records, and the Sabra record label out of Houston, Texas, as was the group. I don't think the group was out of, where was this group out of? Yeah, Houston, Texas. No, it was not. I can't see here, Charlene, with this. But anyway, let's go back to August of 1961 for CL and the Pictures. And CL, CL is really, Curtis Weldon. That was his name. Charlene, it's not on here. I don't see it here. Oh my goodness. But this record charted number two on KILT in Houston, Texas. This one going out to Mady Campboy, August 1961, CL and the Pictures. The song is called actually it was first done, by the way, by Thurston Harris. Thurston Harris first recorded this, but this is a cool cover tune. It's called I'm Asking for Forgiveness. Please forgive me.
If I made you cry, if I told a lie, oh, I'm asking forgiveness. Forgive my foolish cry, oh, from the depths of my soul, with tears in my eyes, oh, I'm asking forgiveness. Forgive my foolish cry, oh, my heart is yours through eternity, and don't take yours away from me, from the depths of my soul, with tears in my eyes, oh, I'm asking forgiveness. Forgive my foolish cry, oh. The depths of my soul, with tears in my eyes, oh, I'm asking forgiveness. Forgive my foolish cry, forgive my foolish cry.
As by request from Matey Campoy there, CL and the Pictures, Charles Weldon. CL is Charles Weldon, and it's very easy to confuse that CL with Curtis Lee. Why Dunes did that? They probably wanted to associate the two, because Curtis Lee had a big hit with Pretty Little Angel Eyes, and so they wanted to have the association. They thought that they might be able to get away with this being Curtis Lee, but it is not. It's Charles Weldon. That one there, August 1961. Originally came out on the Sabra label, but then it was picked up by Dunes Records. That was his first of three on the Dunes label. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. We continue here. Go back to Sid Nathan's Federal record label. This is a request for George Tompkins here. This group is called The Four Sounds. It's from May of 1961. When I listened to the song initially, I said to Charlene, Charlene, this sounds like a tune that was covered by the Five Notes on the Chess label. She told me that the words were different, but they sound the same to me, so either way, they might have inspired this group to record this song. But let's go back to May of 61 for The Four Sounds. We send it out to George Tompkins on Federal Records. It's called Someone to Show Me the Way.
He said in each life that a little rain must fall, but someday the sun's going to shine. So I know that somewhere there'll be someone can, but I need someone to show me the way. I need someone to show me the way, to love and guide every day, who'll be more than just a friend and stick by me till the end. I need someone to show me the way. Once had a love that I thought was oh so true, but now she's gone away. Now that I'm all alone with no one to call my own, I need someone somewhere. I need someone to show me the way. Someone to show me the way.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. Those are The Four Sounds. The Four Sounds on the Federal record label. The song is called Someone to Show Me the Way, released in May of 1961. I got to say that the Five Notes did a tune on chess in 1955 called Show Me the Way. So I think there's some similar words there, or at least Johnny G got caught here. Hold on. I still have some requests to get to, but anyway, I think that song by the Five Notes inspired the Four Sounds to record that tune. Yet Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. We're going to close out with a few more requests here. Here's one for Joe Shacatano, this group out of Venice, California. They had 5 releases on Wesley Fairburn's Milestone record label out of Hollywood, California. You know their biggest hit. It was their debut single. It was called Lover's Island. This is their 3rd release. It was written by the lead singer. His name is Leon Peels. It's going out to Joe Shacatano, March 1962. The Blue Jays on Milestone. It's called Let's Make Love.
Ooh.
by request for Joe Shacatano there. That's Leon Peels. And the Blue Jays, March 1962, on the Milestone record label, Let's Make Love. The only thing wrong with that record is it's on styrene. And many of those Milestone records, they pressed so cheaply, put too much air in those when they press those styrene 45s, unfortunately. But especially when you play it with when they were played with a heavy needle, that heavy stylus arm, not good. 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. Let's go back to, we're going to go to another request for Matey Campboy here. This a duo of brothers up next. They're from Coalinga, California, but they moved to Los Angeles in 1959, performed at local clubs on Hollywood and Sunset Boulevard, wrote and produced lots of great California sounds, and one of the songs that comes to mind is a tune they wrote, Be Mine, that was done by the Uptones on the Loot label, but so many other records that they wrote. And here's one from 1964. This was Wait, this is not the intended A-side. Well, yes, it was. This actually was the intended A-side, but they flipped it over to play the flip side, which was called Robot Walk, but I say this is the better side in my opinion. This is going out to Matey Campboy, July 1964, Pat and Lolly Vegas on the Apogee, how do you pronounce that? Apogee Records. It's called Don't You Remember.
Don't you remember me, the boy whose heart you stole? Oh yeah, I haven't been able to forget the fun we had the night we met. Remember when we shared that first tender kiss? Oh yeah, I still recall the thrill of it all. Don't you remember me? Don't you remember that first kiss we stole while others looked their way? Our love was so grand while I held your hand. How could that memory fade away? Oh, yeah. Don't you remember when we shared that Coke with two straws? Oh yeah, I still recall the thrill of it all. Don't you remember me? Yeah.
Always love that tune there, by request from Matey Campboy, Pat and Lolly Vegas. July 1964 release, Don't You Remember, on the Apogee record label. And in 1974, for Epic Records, they recorded as Redbone, a 45 that I did buy back in 74. They did a cool tune called Come and Get Your Love, which is actually a pretty great, a cool record. I bought the record, a great record out of 1974, but that is a cool tune. tune by Pat and Lolly Vegas. Got two more 45s to go here before Johnny G signs off. Here's a request for Joe Shacatano. This is a rare 45 from 1963 on the Belltone record label. You know Belltone, known for the Jive 5, Bobby Lewis. They had big hits on the label, but this was not a big hit. This is one of the two rarest 45s on the label. One is the Don Tells and the Lovers Reunion, and the other is this release by a group called the Meteors. The Meteors from 63. This is by request for Joe Shacatano on Belltone. It's called Let's Start Anew.
Don't say you're leaving me. Please don't go away. I need you so, my dear. Let's start I need you so, my dear. Let's start anew. There was love in your eyes when you said I do. I need you so badly, my dear. Let's start
As by request for Joe Shacatano there. That's a rare 45, by the way, if you're looking for that. If you collect the Belltone label, not many releases on the label, but that's one of the two harder records to find on the label. A group called the Meteors. Meteors there, 1963, Belltone Records. Let's Start Anew. We'll almost be starting a new year soon. And another couple weeks, it'll be 2021, but that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Tons and tons of requests that I have been accumulating. Charlene's been helping me with that. We have a system down, but this week was not a good week for me. I worked late till after midnight a number of nights, and I had to pull them all out last night, and it took me, I was looking for two. I had to look through probably about 1,045s. I found it, finally. I found the two. But I love to fill your requests here and sprinkle in some other records here and there. But again, thank you all so much for being a part of the show and participating. But we're going to close the show tonight. I'm going to play another record too after I close out here, because I think it's appropriate, but it's a New Year's Eve record, so it'll come after. But I'm going to close the show tonight with a group. Where is it? I lost my place here. Let's see where I put it here. I have my cheat notes here. the Capitals, the Meteors made. Here it is. We're going to close out from a Christmas tune from December of 1963. I think this record came out on green vinyl, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it on green vinyl, but the group is from Massachusetts. And one of the tunes, they have two records on a label called Demand Records. One of them is called Times Change, which is a song I really like that they do. And then this holiday tune, it comes out on green vinyl and also has a picture sleeve, which I don't have, but I do like the song. Our closer tonight is by the Uniques, December 63 on Demand. It's called Merry Christmas, Darling, and a Happy New Year too. So that's the closer for tonight, and I'm sending this out to all the listeners tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, and I hope you dig on the records I bring you every Saturday evening from 10 to 1 a.m. now, and for being a part of the show. And I really enjoy doing it, playing the records. It's really the highlight of my week. It has been so for many, many years. So thank you so much for that. And again, hopefully things will be okay next year. I'll be able to bring you more 45s out of my collection. So that's going to do it tonight. Please tune in tomorrow evening for my buddy Dave the Rave and his Relics and Rarities show. All begins at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight. See, Johnny G going loco here tonight. But Dave starts tomorrow evening beginning at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight for Relics and Rarities, Dave the Rave, all the 45s you crave. I got 45s too that you crave too. We're going to have a battle of the groups with Dave. I'll see if I can beat him again, and you can bet on it that'll be a good gamble for you guys to do. But that's going to do it, folks. Thank you so much, Charlene, again for all your help, and I want to wish everybody out there a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But I'll be back next week before the new year starts, right? 26th of December, so it'll be before then, but it'll be my all 60 show next week, so I'll see some of you again in 2 weeks again. But that's going to do it, folks. I'll be back after this song, but we're going to close out now here on the TSO website, and I'll be back for one more record. Yes, I will. So let's hear from the Uniques now with Merry Christmas, Darling, and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, darling, and a Happy New Year too. I am so happy just being here with you. Your present I will cherish, the wonderful gift of you. Moonlight is shining, snow is falling down. Here we are together, true love we have found. Darling, let's make a resolution, not for just a new year, but for a lifetime. Let's always be together, come what might, and darling, let's stay together, always, as we are tonight. Merry Christmas, darling, and a Happy New Year too. I am so happy just being here with you. So I give you my present. I love you. Merry Christmas, darling, and all my love.
I'll stay home home. On New Year's Eve with my loved one. Sweet Lorraine, we'll be hoping that we'll be together next year. Together next year. I'll stay home, 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 home. New Year's Eve with my darling. Sweet Lorraine, we'll be praying that we'll be together next year. All the heavenly bells will be as we sit by the fireside. All the heavenly angels will be I'll stay home, 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 home. New Year's Eve with my darling. Sweet Lorraine, we'll be hoping, praying that we'll be together next year. Next year, together next year. Next year, together next year. Next year, together next year.
Okay, folks, that was a bonus 45. Johnny G's got to calculate bonus for my company. Bonus depreciation, that is. You don't want to know what bonus depreciation is. But anyway, that was the record. And you're right, it's a styrene press. Not crazy for styrene, but was cheap enough. I figured I'd get it. But I have a nice vinyl press of this too. But Johnny G is a completist again. Thank you so much again for tuning into the show and making it special for me. I really appreciate it, folks. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there. I'll see you next Saturday for my All 60s show. And again, I'll see some of you in 2 weeks. Again, thank you so much again. Again, thank you again, Charlene, for all your help. So everybody stay safe. And for whatever we can do, hopefully we'll all be back to normal soon enough. We can only hope that can be, and I think it will. So just for a couple more months or so, I think we'll get back to normal here, and we'll see what happens. Again, thank you so much. Everybody have a safe and happy week. I'll see you next Saturday, okay? So long.